My name is Scott Forrest. I'm the founder of Forrest Technical Coatings. I started the companies in 1973. Our goals were to be a good place to work, to be environmentally conscious, and to make a little bit of money on the side.
Sustainability is not only good for the environment, but it's just good business. It's an expectation today, especially with the kinds of companies that we prefer to deal with as a specialty products and technical coating supplier. A lot of the things that we've invested in have not only saved resources, but saved waste that otherwise becomes cost. We've had our own paint recycling program for many, many years where we take back our brand and recycle it, but we found that there were a lot of people coming in with other brands that didn't have a way to recycle those.
We got together with the other paint companies in the Pacific Northwest, and we started a program called PaintCare. All the paint that you return to us is put through a recycling program.
As a paint and coating producer, of course, we use a lot of paint thinners within our products. We'd identified over 20 years ago that we needed some kind of system in order to reduce the amount of air pollutants from our processes. Scott had identified a startup company that had a new technology for using a biological filter to convert those waste emissions into harmless byproducts. We'd identified through our continuous improvement process that we were using a huge amount of water for some of our processes in the factory, that if we could put in a system with a heat exchanger to recycle that, we could really reduce the amount of water that we're using from our great resource, the Mackenzie. The fire snake's become a very significant product for our company, and it's used nationwide and across the US and across Canada. We were approached by somebody from the railroad with a challenge that they had with a process that was unsafe and unclean, where they were using diesel oil to do repairs on the rails. We were able to use recycled alcohol from the chip manufacturing industry as well as the food industry that had this as a byproduct, and we turned that into the fire snake that the railroad uses to make repairs on the rails.
As far as we can tell, most of the railroads have eliminated the old diesel oil, and they use our fire snake to fix their problem.
There was a need for a lower VOC option for our industrial customers, and powder is one of the technologies for the future. Powder coatings have less impact in the environment because you're able to utilize a higher percentage of the material that doesn't get wasted, and there's also no solvents involved that evaporate and create air pollution. We're the only powder producer with a factory in the Pacific Northwest. I'm very proud of the relationship we have with our community here. It's something that my father, Scott, always prioritized from the beginning, was being a good neighbor and having a good relationship with both the people in the community and the regulatory agencies that we work with. It's always been part of our DNA to be a good place to work, where people enjoy coming and have good relationships with their colleagues and with their employer. A lot of effort's gone into maintaining that culture.
We have got some great employees that have worked for us for 30, 40 years. They do a great job, and we've worked together through recessions.
It's a lot more fun to be able to share the success with the people around you and to have feel good about the opportunities that you're creating for the other people within the company.